So hey anime fans, the series name is What If Naruto Got Harem with Spider-Woman, so let's start the series. When Spider-Man woke up, he noticed that Naruto was still sleeping, but in the most uncomfortable way possible. He looked at the window and saw that the sun had just risen. "Looks like morning just hit," he said, and then he looked at Naruto. "I should let him sleep for a while," he thought to himself. He did say he's got the day off, although, he did say that he'll give me the tour of his village, he said as he walked quietly out the door and closed it. "Okay, so where to?" he asked himself as he stopped on a building overlooking the Hidden Leaf village. Then he noticed a young girl staring at Naruto's apartment. "Wait, I think I know her," he said as he webbed swing to her. "I hope Naruto's okay," she thought to herself as she gazed at Naruto's apartment building. "I never got the chance to talk to him after he was in that accident, but he wouldn't be here if it weren't for." That girl was Hinata, of course. Spider-Man said, "Hello," frightening Hinata. Holding her heart, Hinata said, "Oh, it's just you." Spider-Man apologized. What's your name again?" he asked. She replied, "Hinata," and then she glanced at Spider-Man's outfit, saying, "I see you're a full shinobi now." Spider-Man looked at himself and remarked, "Well, only until I get home." Hinata remarked, "Well, it's good to know that you're on our side." Spider-Man said, "Yes," and Hinata's face flushed. "By the way, why were you looking at Naruto's apartment building?" She fidgeted with her fingers as she said, I was going to check on how he's doing." Spider-Man remarked, "Oh well, he's fine, he has a concussion, but fine." Hinata remarked, "Oh, that's a relief." Spider-Man pointed to Hinata and remarked, "Oh, by the way, he told me about you." "He what?" said Hinata. Last night's flashback. As they took some linens out of a closet, Spider-Man said to Naruto, "Hey, by the way, who were those kids with long hair that were blue and brown?" Naruto inquired, Are you talking about Neji and Hinata?" Spider-Man replied, "Yeah, I believe. What are they that belong to Jutsu?" "Well, they're both from the same clan, so they both have the Byakugan," replied Naruto. "The what Yugen?" inquired Spider-Man. Naruto rubbed his head and muttered, "Yeah, I don't know much about it either. However, should I mention that I fought Neji in the Chunin exams?" Spider-Man placed the covers next Naruto's bed and said, "And you won?" With a happy tone, Naruto remarked, "You bet, but Hinata lost to him." Spider-Man stated, "Classic brother and sister issues. They're actually cousins," Naruto stated. "Oh," said Spider-Man. "It's funny though, Hinata never gave up on losing," Naruto stated as he gazed at the ceiling. "Shino once told me, the reason she never gives up is because I never give up, she wants to be strong like me." Spider-Man laughed and said, "Well, someone has a #1 fan." "Huh?" inquired Naruto. "It's obvious," Spider-Man replied, "if she's getting all of her strength and determination from you, then it's obvious that she's your fangirl." Naruto screamed, "Hey, shut up," as he hurried to his feet, his cheeks flushed. "Her father won't even accept it if she does. We're just friends. Hinata doesn't like me like that." "Yeah, sure," Spider-Man remarked mockingly. "I'm serious," Naruto cried out. "Aha," said Spider-Man. "If you don't shut up, I'm gonna use the Rasengan on you again, and this time, I will kill you." Flashback end. When Spider-Man glanced at Hinata, her face turned crimson and her entire body trembled. "Yeah, he must be proud knowing that his fan is becoming just like him, am I right?" Spider-Man remarked. Are you okay?" Hinata sputtered and passed out, and Naruto told you about me. Then, Spider-Man took Hinata's body and web swing through the hidden leaf village, saying, "Oh boy," as he looked at her. "I can't just leave her here, I better go find out where she lives," he added. "I hope she's not afraid of heights when she wakes up." When Spider-Man said, "He told me about you," she stopped listening. In the interim, 1010, Teen Guy's third comrade, moaned, "So you guys fought this guy without me?" Neji inquired, "Well, where were you yesterday?" "I was on a mission." 1010 replied, "I was getting some herbs for the medical team." Lee gave a thumbs up, saying, "Well, there's the plus side, you completed your mission." 1010 said, "Oh shut up, Lee," with a shady expression. Sorry," Lee murmured, massaging his head. "And also, you weren't the only one who couldn't fight him," Neji said, "Shino and Sai weren't there either." In the meantime, Kiba remarked, "You okay, Shio," as he saw Shino launch into space. "I just have this weird feeling that someone forgot to mention me in something," Shino stated. Kiba signed, "You got issues, you know that." Returning to the team. "That's not the point," 1010 replied, "You guys really shouldn't be battling without me." "We're sorry 1010, but you should be glad you weren't there," Lee responded. 1010 asked, "What do you mean by that?" with disappointment. In a panic, Lee exclaimed, "Wait. 1010, that's not what I meant." Neji told 1010, he was saying that we were misunderstood. 1010 questioned, "Misunderstood?" Naruto though that he was like the guy with the spider jutsu I fought when those four goons Orochimaru hired to take Sasuke, Neji said, but he realized the truth when he saved him from a building that collapsed on them when they battled inside it. 1010 inquired, "Oh, where is he now?" "Me and Neji haven't seen him since yesterday," Lee stated. "But I'm pretty sure that he's with Lady Hinata," said Neji. 1010 asked Neji, "He's staying at your place?" Lee remarked, "I thought he was with Naruto." A voice behind 1010 and Lee exclaimed, "I am." They turned to see Spider-Man carrying Hinata. When 1010 said, "Whoa, that's him." After Lee confirmed, "Yes, this is the Spider-Man we've told you about," they saw Hinata holding him. As she, Neji, and Lee rushed to her, 1010 questioned, "Hinata? What happened to her?" Neji yelled at Spider-Man, "Was she attacked?" "Who were they?" Spider-Man laid Hinata down and said, "Slow down, Lord Elrond, she just fainted." Lee asked, glancing at Hinata, "Fainted?" 1010 signed, "Classic Hinata," in a positive manner. Gazing at Neji, Spider-Man questioned, You're Neji, right?" "Yes I am," Neji said with a nod. Spider-Man said, "Then, could you taking her to her house?" Neji grabbed up Hinata and said, "Of course, thank you, Spider-Man." Spider-Man and Neji answered, "Anytime," and they carried Hinata to her home slowly. Lee questioned Spider-Man, Why did Hinata faint anyway?" After saying, "I'll tell you later," Spider-Man turned to face 1010 and said, "Who are you?" She said, "Oh, I'm 1010, Spider-Man," said Spider-Man. "Hey Spider-Man, where's Naruto?" Lee responded, "You did agree to stay at his place." Spider-Man replied, "He's still sleeping, so I decided to see the town for myself." 1010 grimaced, "Should have known." As we swung away, Spider-Man called, "See you all later," and remarked, "Anyway, I'm gonna take a look around the town more," while launching a web at a building. "You know, the mask he's wearing makes it look like he's Kakashi-sensei," Lee said to 1010. "Funny, I was thinking the same thing," Lee replied. With Spider-Man. So they have their own hot springs, Spider-Man said, stopping at the village's hot springs and surveying the area. Beats the expensive saunas back at New York. Really wish I had enough money in my allowance to book me a MJ1, he signed. Then he heard a man nearby giggle, and he asked, what the hell was that? As he followed the sound, he asked himself, then he noticed an old man looking at the girl's side of the spring. What on earth is that person? At that moment, he was drawn away from the hole by a web line, and the hole he was staring at was covered by another web. What the, who did that? He shouted, glancing around. I apologize, Spider-Man, who was standing on the fence behind him, remarked, but I believe what you were doing is known as peeping. Well, you are the Spider-Man, then, the elderly man laughed and remarked, you recognize me? Spider-Man inquired. The elderly guy remarked, Tsunade told me about you, she even told me that you saved Naruto. I save people, Spider-Man declared. Who are you, anyway? The elderly man answered, I'm glad you asked. I am Jiraiya, the great sage toad. He yelled while striking a stance. Spider-Man mentally said, and I thought Sailor Moon's poses were weird. And I'll have you know I was just doing my research, Jiraiya replied. You understand that nude ladies are not animals, don't you? Spider-Man inquired. Hey, stop talking. I am an author, you know, Jiraiya screamed. Porn magazines, for what? Spider-Man inquired. No, Jiraiya said, I wish though, there are novels. Spider-Man said, all right, then. You know Naruto? Yes, Jiraiya answered, he's my student. I believe Kakashi to be his pupil, Spider-Man remarked. He is, Jiraiya replied, I just taught him the jutsu the fourth Hokage mastered. Are you referring to Rasengan? Spider-Man inquired. The correct pronunciation is Rasengan. And I see you saw it in action, Jiraiya remarked. Spider-Man rubbed his stomach and muttered, actually, he used it on me, as Naruto swung his Rasengan at him. Jiraiya remarked, yeah, Naruto is one strong kid. He sure is, remarked Spider-Man. Welp, I better get going, Jiraiya replied. I got to tell Tsunade some information I've been hearing all around the nation. What sort of data? Spider-Man inquired. Sorry, personal business, Jiraiya replied. But it was nice to meet you. You too, I suppose? Jiraiya watched Spider-Man web swing away from him until he was out of sight and proceeded to the Hokage's building. Spider-Man muttered. I could have told him, but since he knows Naruto, he might tell him behind my back, Jiraiya replied. But right now, I just wonder how Tsunade is going to react to this. With Spider-Man. Everyone's looking at me, Spider-Man thought to himself as he webbed through the hidden leaf and saw everyone gasping and pointing at him pass by. Well, I don't blame them, it's not every day you see a web swinger from another world go by above them swing on webs, he said as he wall-crawled up a building and looked down at the town. At least it's better than everyone screaming in fear every time they see me, he concluded. As he stepped aside from a lightning strike, he yelled, what on earth was that? He shouted, you're Spider-Man, then, a man behind him remarked. He had scars all over his face, a white outfit, a white headgear that resembled clouds in the middle, and lighting all over his body. Who are you, wow? Spider-Man inquired. The name is Joni Biwi, stated the individual, and I've heard that you're the new hidden leaf ninja that's been taking down some of the crooks. Hey, it's what I do, Spider-Man said. Hold on. What? Question from Joni. You're not called Electro by anyone, are you? Spider-Man inquired. Electro? No, but I think it sounds cool. Joni said, looking at his lighting hands, and gripped them. I'm Electro. Good job, Spidey, you just created your own supervillain for this world. Go you, said Spider-Man. Now remain motionless. As he prepared his jutsu, Electro remarked, ninja art, lightning ball. As Spider-Man dodged all of the lightning bolts that were aimed at him, he muttered, Sparky, I miss you, Spider-Man said, you know buddy, just because I asked if anyone calls you, Electro doesn't mean you have to call yourself that, as he webbed Electro's body and pulled him to his fist. Electro then escaped the web, punched Spider-Man in the stomach, and crashed into a building. Oh, déjà vu. As he spoke, he noticed Electro standing on the building's edge. You're going out with me. Electro stated. Thanks for the offer, Spider-Man murmured, pulling back the wall's edges with his webbed hands. But I'm married. But I would like to be friends, he replied, launching himself at Electro and punching him in the face. Quit talking and get into a fight. As he continued to shoot Spider-Man with lightning balls, but he continued to dodge them, Electro remarked, why am I not able to be challenged to a rap battle? Fight, fight, fight. As he ducked the blows, Spider-Man joked. Enough of this, Electro said, a lightning strike. Spider-Man was struck by lightning and fell to the ground. Is it acceptable for me to state that I prefer my Electro? Spider-Man asked himself as Electro landed in front of him and continued to blast him with electricity. This must cease immediately. With a few hand gestures, Electro exclaimed, lightning style, thunderbolt. As light appeared on both of his palms, he uttered those words. Oh boy, gulped Spider-Man. In the meantime, Sakura was there when Naruto answered the door after someone knocked. She saw Naruto eating ramen in the middle of the night while hardly clothed, and she said, that's pretty heavy food to have in the morning. Naruto groaned, don't judge me, Sakura. Today is our day off. Anyway, is Spider-Man present? Sakura inquired. Don't know, he wasn't in his bed when I woke up, Naruto yawned. You just awoke. It's already noon, Sakura said, but whatever, just quickly wash up and get dressed, and when you're done, help me find Spider-Man. Why? Is there a problem? Naruto inquired. After Sakura answered, don't know yet, Lady Tsunade told me to bring you too. Naruto turned to face her and noticed a lightning bolt behind her. Hey! Are you listening at all? Sakura shouted. Look! Sakura glanced behind her and noticed the lighting close by when Naruto pointed behind her. Is that right? Sakura inquired. Naruto remarked, probably something bad. Sakura responded, I'll check it out, so hurry and get dressed. Wait, Naruto said, fusing his fingers together, Shadow Clone Jutsu. As a clone materialized, he yelled, the clone will accompany you to assist you while I get dressed. Sakura remarked, good thinking. Come on. As he and Sakura made their way to the illumination and the real Naruto hastily put on his clothes, the clone replied, returning with Spider-Man. Everyone in the building fled when Spider-Man crashed into a window, asking, why don't I crash into a pillow factory or something? He asked as he stood up. Electro yelled, I'm gonna fry you, and hurled a lightning bolt at him, causing Spider-Man to leap and adhere to the ceiling. Spider-Man said, I'm no chef, but I don't think a fried spider is good to anyone, while webbed Electro's face. G.A. Remove this from me. Electro yelled as he tried to pull the web out of his face. When he got the web off, Spider-Man was gone. Where are you? He shouted. Fuse face, right here. As he air-kicked Electro's face, Spider-Man remarked, oh, you should see a doctor for that. Electro pulled himself up and wiped his nose, finding blood on it. Spider-Man uttered. You made a huge error, friend, then Electro shouted, I'm going to squash you. Lighting style, lighting. He stated while making hand signals. Before he could complete his jutsu, Sakura sprang in front of him, cutting his face. Electro then collided with a building roof, and Sakura fled to Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Are you okay? She inquired. Spider-Man said, yeah, thanks for the save. Hey! Spider-Man. You alright? Yelled Naruto's clone as she jumped to him. Yeah, but wouldn't kill you to get dressed? Spider-Man inquired, observing Naruto's attire. Actually, I'm a clone, stated the replica, the real me is getting dressed right now. Spider-Man remarked, good to know, as they both noticed Electro leaving the building. The clone inquired, who is that? Sakura startled as she glanced at the headband he was wearing. She said, he's from the Hidden Cloud Village. The Spider-Man questioned, the Hidden Cloud Village? Well, let's talk about that later, the clone answered. Who is he? He told me his name was Joni Baiwi, but he decided to use a name from my world that also has the same power him, Spider-Man said. Which is? Sakura inquired. Electro. Spider-Man replied. Electro, both the clone and Sakura inquired. Well, they won't help you, Electro remarked as he approached them carefully. So, you bought some friends? The clone murmured, guys, the real me is ready. Be prepared, Sakura and Spider-Man both answered, right. Electro asked, do you think you three can stop me? While pointing behind Electro, Spider-Man responded, definitely, but would you mind if they go first? When Electro witnessed two more Narutos activating the Rasengan, he exclaimed, Wah! What the? Naruto screamed, Rasengan, and launched the Rasengan toward Electro's stomach. The clone carrying Sakura and Spider-Man vanished as soon as he hit Electro. Awesome, Spider-Man exclaimed. Sakura remarked, well done, Naruto, as the real Naruto rushed towards them. Naruto remarked, what can I say, I'm full of surprises. Electro screamed, you bastard, as he fought to stand up. Sakura remarked, this guy doesn't seem to give up. Spider-Man remarked, reminds me of my Electro, I'm gonna finish you all, one by. A voice exclaimed, wood style, and Electro was seized by wooden boards that emerged from the ground. Electro screamed, what the hell is this, as she struggled to escape. A man emerged from the wood Electro was in and exclaimed, wood style jutsu. Captain Yamato, exclaimed Sakura and Naruto. Yamato turned to face Electro and remarked, well, Joni Baiwi, you've been a wanted man ever since you left the Hidden Cloud Village. You don't have to blurt it out, replied Electro, I'll get you for this, you hear me? Yamato remarked, yeah, tell that to the prison, coming down to Spider-Man, Naruto, and Sakura. You three okay? He inquired. Naruto replied, yeah, thanks for the assist Captain Yamato. I'll catch up, Yamato said with a laugh. Now you three go to the Hokage. Sakura replied, sure, see ya Captain Yamato, as she, Spider-Man, and Naruto proceeded directly to the Hokage's building. What does Granny Tsunade want with us on our day off? Replied Naruto. I'm not sure, Sakura responded. She just told me to get you and Spider-Man, I can't tell if it's good news or bad news. Okay, but why is Spider-Man involved? Naruto said, gesturing to Spider-Man. I'm wondering the same thing myself, Spider-Man replied, however, my spider sense is telling me that something's wrong. Like what? Sakura inquired. Spider-Man remarked, don't know, as he turned to face the Hidden Leaf Village. Just a feeling. Tsunade, Shizune, and Jiraiya were inside the Hokage's office when Naruto, Sakura, and Spider-Man arrived. In their minds, Jiraiya and Spider-Man said, "It's him again." Tsunade said, "You're late. Why did it take you three so long to arrive?" Although Spider-Man, she sounds like my high school English teacher. Sakura bowed hesitantly in front of Lady Tsunade and murmured, "Please pardon us, Lady Tsunade. Naruto was having lunch for breakfast." Spider-Man remarked, "And they saved me from being attacked." "It's true, Lady Tsunade," replied Shizune. "Yamato informed me about it." "Really now?" replied Tsunade. "That still doesn't excuse you for being late." After Jiraiya calmed Tsunade down with the words, now, Tsunade, Naruto entered and gasped upon seeing Jiraiya. "No way! Are you back in town again, Pervy Sage?" "Pervy Sage," Spider-Man said as he laughed. "Naruto, it has been a while, hasn't it?" Jiraiya inquired. "It really has," Naruto remarked. "Why didn't you inform me that you would be returning here? I have a lot to share with you." "So I hear," Jiraiya responded, "well, just the gist of it, not in details, but I hear you played a big role in recent events. Isn't that true every time?" "Oh, and I finally got my collaboration jutsu to sync with Gamatatsu," Naruto said. "You did? That's fantastic," Jiraiya cheered. Spider-Man remarked, "Wow, these two really get along well. Would you like to see my new jutsu?" Naruto inquired. "Well, how can I possibly turn down that offer now that I'm here?" questioned Jiraiya. "Awesome," Naruto remarked. "Oh, and we can dine at Ichiraku's ramen after that, of course." Jiraiya replied, "Sure, I'll tell you what, it'll be my treat." "All right, let's leave," Naruto applauded. As he and Naruto made their way to the door, Jiraiya remarked, "I can't wait to see your new jutsu." "Hey," Sakura and Tsunade yelled and approached each other. "Well, guys?" Spider-Man asked, "What are you?" Before he could finish, Sakura punches Naruto in the head and Tsunade did the same with Jiraiya. "Never mind." Shizune remarked, "I almost feel sorry for those two." Spider-Man remarked, "I suppose it's true that students are like their teachers." Shizune exclaimed, "I couldn't agree more," before casting a startled glance at Spider-Man and asking, "Wait, how did you know Master Jiraiya is Naruto's teacher?" She inquired. "If I'm mistaken, please let me know." The statement, "We meet earlier this morning," from Spider-Man. "You got to meet Pervy Sage?" Naruto asked, rubbing his head where Sakura smacked him. "When?" "At the hot springs," replied Spider-Man. Everyone answered, "Of course," and, "Hey! I was researching," Jiraiya shouted. "You were my ass," yelled Tsunade. Spider-Man told Tsunade, "Okay, let's discuss Old Man Jenkins' research later. Just explain why you brought us here." Tsunade held up a sign and said, "At this moment, we've been observing some information circulating on various channels." "Some intel?" Sakura asked. Spider-Man said, What kind on intel?" "It's not about me, isn't it?" Tsunade responded, "What? No, of course not, why would you think that? Back in my world when I first became Spider-Man, a lot of intel was about me being a threat," he replied. "But no, this intelligence is worse than that," Tsunade remarked. "Then, what is it?" inquired Naruto. After a brief period of silence, Tsunade eventually responded, "Orochimaru is dead, and that Sasuke Uchiha killed him. Spider-Man, Sakura, and Naruto were all taken aback. Fearfully, Naruto questioned, "Really? Are you sure?" Spider-Man said, "Wait. The guy who Naruto thought I was working for. He's dead." "Yes. That's the story we've heard," Jiraiya replied. "And we believe it's true, it comes with a reliable source." Sakura's eyes started to well up with tears. "Then that means—" Naruto burst out laughing. Spider-Man thought, is he laughing after what he just heard? "I knew there was no way Orochimaru could break Sasuke," he stated. "Wait. Sasuke? That's the boy both Naruto and his teacher told me about. However, why would he kill the person who was training him?" "That must mean Sasuke's coming back to the Hidden Leaf Village, right?" replied Naruto. "According to Spider-Man, I doubt that." What do you mean?" Naruto exclaimed. "He's right, Naruto," Jiraiya responded. "I don't think he's coming back to the village." What does that mean?" Naruto pondered. If Orochimaru is dead, then why won't he come back to the Hidden Leaf Village? "Sasuke's heart is full of vengeance," Jiraiya stated. "We think he intends to approach the Akatsuki in order to kill his older brother, Itachi." Naruto roared, "Really? Damn it, Sasuke!" Spider-Man said, "I hate to interrupt, but who are the Akatsuki?" "Before we answer that, has Naruto told you about the nine-tailed fox inside him?" inquired Tsunade. "Yeah, why?" Spider-Man inquired. "The Akatsuki are a group of shinobi that existed outside the usual system of hidden villages. They hunt down the Jinchuriki of each tailed beasts," Tsunade said. Spider-Man said, "Wait, each tailed beast?" Jiraiya stated, "That's right, Naruto isn't the only Jinchuriki." Spider-Man questioned, "I assume Jinchuriki is another word for tailed beast user?" Tsunade responded, "That's right, but we can tell you about the rest later." "Granny Tsunade is right," Naruto replied, "we have to find Itachi Uchiha." Returning to the current circumstance. Spider-Man, "Well, let's go find this Itachi man and, hopefully, Sasuke as well. Additionally, if you are unfamiliar with this story, I will tell you who is currently with me. Yamato, I'm not sure how he does it, but I'm very certain an elderly man made him out of wood and he miraculously came to life. He can call forth wood from the earth and from his hand. Kakashi, he is Naruto's instructor. I'm not sure why he is wearing a mask, but perhaps I will question him about it after we leave. Like Charlie Brown and Snoopy, Kiba and Akamaru would make a fantastic ninja team if they had superpowers. Shino, a man with mental control over insects, similar to Ant-Man. If Ant-Man can control other bugs, he'll be renamed Bug-Man. Hinata, hopefully not for clothing, her eyes are like X-ray vision for chakra. Sai, capable of transforming animal artwork into life-size creatures, but lacking in emotional intelligence. Sakura, is a youthful, kind medic ninja, yet she will turn into the complete reverse of what I just described if you irritate her. Naruto, he's the person I saved, and I'm very sure you all know him. He's desperate to find Sasuke and bring him back to the Hidden Leaf Village, and he can demolish everything with his Rasengan, including my ribs. Me too. Spider-Man, your friendly, amazing, and spectacular neighbor. Why don't I also receive a cool introduction? Spider-Man, anyhow, let's get started on the task. The rain soon stopped, and the storm clouds dissipated. Thank God it stopped, Spider-Man commented. Kakashi looked at the building and remarked, alright, let's stop at that rooftop and talk about the plane's tactics. Alright, but we have to hurry, Naruto replied. If Sasuke finds Itachi before we do, it'll be too late to convince Sasuke to come back home. Spider-Man questioned, he is really determined to find Sasuke, huh? He's been like that since Sasuke first left the village, Kiba replied. I know because I was chosen to retrieve him with Naruto. I wasn't, scowled Shino. For crying out loud, Shino, will you just get over it already, replied Kiba. Akamaru responded with a bark. Kiba said Akamaru, I know he hates it when I mention that, I just didn't think he heard me. This is going to be a long day, Spider-Man groaned. When Sai yelled out to him, hey, Spider-Man. Yeah, asked Spider-Man. Are you sure you're ready for this? Sai responded, you never seen or faced Sasuke before. Sakura stated, Sai's right, overhearing them, Sasuke has gained more strength since training with Orochimaru. He also possesses the Sharingan. Don't worry, I'll be alright, Spider-Man replied, and besides, I fought worse back in my world. But this isn't your world, Yamato replied, some of these people may look like people you fought in your world, but these people are sometimes dangerous, like Sasuke. If he really killed Orochimaru, then he must be more stronger than we thought, so let us handle him, he's far too dangerous for you to fight. Spider-Man understood. Whatever you say, Pinocchio, Spider-Man laughed. Pinocchio, Yamato said, perplexed. After saying, okay, we're here, Kakashi. All of them climbed to the roof and congregated there. Spider-Man said, killer view, glancing around. Pay attention to Spider-Man, Kakashi advised. After saying, sorry, Spider-Man turned to face the gathering. Okay, everyone listen up, Kakashi said. Starting now, our main objective is to find Itachi and bring him to custody. Everyone said, right. The Akatsuki is rounding up the tailed beasts, and we believe they already have the 3 tails, Kakashi said. According to the info from Jiraiya, they have arrived at the land of fire, and searching for Naruto. You mean we'll stop them? Spider-Man inquired. If we stop them, stated Kakashi. What if? Spider-Man swallowed. Remember, Itachi is originally formed the Hidden Leaf. 3 years ago, he came searching for Naruto, replied Kakashi. Fourth wall break. Spider-Man, in case you haven't guessed it, the Arthur made a mistake in the years that this all happened. Smiling, how foolish. Then it makes sense, Sai replied, he's probably heading back to the Leaf Village this time as well. Then Sasuke should be close by too, Sakura replied. He'll be following Itachi. Yeah, I'll find him, Naruto replied. I'll definitely find my way to Sasuke. I bet you will, Spider-Man remarked. According to Yamato, we better take it one step at a time, guys. Kakashi replied, here's the search protocol. We'll use this building as the center of our search and stay within 5 kilometers radius in all directions. What if all we see are grass and trees? Spider-Man asked. Good question, Kakashi responded. If we don't find anything, we'll move and go to the next 5-kilometer radius. We'll do this once it works. 5 kilometers. It will be dangerous, even for Spider-Man, if we split up, and if we go that far, we won't be able to use our comm units, Sakura stated. Spider-Man declared, dangerous is my middle name. Anyway, the rules say a 2-man squad should. Sakura, Yamato said, try not to be so worried, interrupting her. Kakashi stated, and I have a trick up my sleeve, while slapping the ground and making hand signals. Smoke then surrounded him. Whoa! Spider-Man jumped, the smoke cleared up and a bunch of dogs appeared. What the? Our voices can hear much farther than any comm units, stated the tiny dog, and your noses can detect a powerful scent, so we'll protect you. Hi, this is Pakin. Naruto said. Ninja dogs that can talk. That's very cute, Spider-Man uttered. That doesn't surprise you. Hinata said. Spider-Man remarked, hey, I met 2 talking cats back in my world. Hi, Kakashi. Looking at Spider-Man, Pakin said, who's this guy? He's obviously not from the Hidden Leaf Village. No, he's not, Kakashi responded. Everyone, this is Spider-Man, he's from another world, so until he can find his way home, the Hokage made him a Hidden Leaf shinobi. Spider-Man, these are the ninja hounds, Pakin, Bull, Urushi, Shiba, Biscuit, Akino, Ohei, and Guruko. I suppose it's nice to meet you all. To the hounds, Spider-Man said. And to you too, said Pakin. Hey, what's up with your dog's lack of speech? Kiba was asked by Spider-Man. Akamaru isn't a summoning dog, even though he's like them, replied Kiba. Akamaru whimpered. Kiba patted him and whispered, keep wishing, buddy. What? Spider-Man said, perplexed. He just said he wish he could talk so you all can understand him, said Kiba. Oh, alright, this is the group playing. I'll have 2 ninja hounds in each group just to be safe, Kakashi stated. 2 ninja hounds, Sakura said, but they're. So, try to be kind, okay? Every ninja hound went to their team, Kakashi stated. Sakura was accompanied by Shiba and Biscuit. According to Shiba, it's a pleasure to meet you, Sakura. Typical, groaned Biscuit, you really are just a loud-mouthed female, Sakura said, glaring at Biscuit. Sakura mentally remarked, once we're through here, I'll have to remind myself to choke this puppy until his head falls off. Shino was with Akino and Guruko. I'm going to accompany Shino here, Akino declared. Guruko moaned, ugh, he stinks of bugs. And you have a dog odor, Shino shot back. Sai was with Uhei and Urushi. Sai said, hello ninja hounds. Well, I feel confident working with you, Sai, Uhei replied. Urushi laughed and said, with peace and harmony, right? In his mind, Sai murmured, I wonder if I could be friends with these dogs. Naruto said, hey. What about me? Well Naruto, you're a target to Itachi and the rest of the Akatsuki, Kakashi responded, you'll be with Yamato and Hinata as sentry ninjas. Pakin said, and don't forget Big Buck Bull. Kakashi remarked, Spider-Man, you go with them for now. For now? Inquired Spider-Man. In case anyone needs backup, just try to use your comms or the hounds. If that doesn't work, to have Spider-Man go to your location if you need any backup tracking, Kakashi stated. Backup tracking? Spider-Man inquired. I'm talking about your spider sense, it could be useful, replied Kakashi. Spider-Man stated, I don't think it'll work, but I'll give it a shot, as he approached Naruto and Hinata. Hinata replied tremblingly, it's good to work with you, Naruto. Naruto remarked, yeah, and you guys too. Kakashi stated, the users like Kiba and me will have 1 dog, glancing at Kiba. Kiba remarked, it sounds like a plane. Let's do this. Okay, and remember, we have to track Itachi and Sasuke's sense, Kakashi continued, if you do find them, tell the exact location and return here ASAP. Kakashi glanced at Naruto, even you Naruto, don't go wandering off. Naruto exclaimed, don't worry, I won't. When Kakashi exclaimed, okay then, let's go, everyone dispersed in all directions. They had no idea that someone on the ground had noticed them. At last. I finally found you, Spider-Man. Toby questioned Deidara, So, who are we going for? Sasuke or the Nine Tails? Let's see which one should we go for, Deidara was pondering. Let's just take the skies and if we see either of them, we'll go for them. Toby exclaimed excitedly, oh. Good idea, Deidara. Oh, and one thing, Deidara responded, if we find Sasuke, I kill him. He'll die when he sees what my art will do to him. Let's hope, Toby replied. Last time you showed your true art, you lost both of your arms. Deidara yelled, Toby, if you don't shut up, you'll be losing a head. Toby exclaimed in a panic, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. In front of them, another Akatsuki member, Zetsu, exclaimed, Toby, Deidara. Zetsu? Asked Deidara. Toby questioned, what are you doing here? We've seen the Nine Tails, Zetsu's dark side declared. The white Zetsu remarked, he's with two of their senseis and some of the shinobi who are his age. Really? Replied Deidara, well, a few bodyguards won't stop us from retrieving the Nine Tails. Black Zetsu remarked, they have one more person with them. What do you mean by that? Inquired Deidara. When Toby replied, it means someone else is helping them, Deidara glared at him and yelled, I'll shut up. After saying, thank you, Deidara turned to face Zetsu and asked, now, who is this guy? Well, this man is a strange one, said White Zetsu. The people of the Leaf Village call him, Spider-Man. Spider-Man? Toby responded, then he must have the spider jutsu, right? Yes, he does have the ability similar to the spider jutsu, White Zetsu replied. But the thing is. As Deidara interrupted, it's kinda obvious, Toby. But, what did you mean by, he's a strange one, replied Toby. Deidara inquired, yeah, what did you mean by that? Well, unlike the people with the spider jutsu, he doesn't have 8 arms, Black Zetsu replied. Heh, that doesn't sound too bad, Deidara said with a laugh. White Zetsu added, that's not all, Deidara and Toby both gasped, the really strange part is, he doesn't have any chakra at all. He what? Deidara responded, then, he's not a shinobi at all, is he? Yes, you're right, but there's another strange thing about him, Black Zetsu responded, he's not from any of the villages. Then, where did he come from? Toby answered. Really? Well, I've been getting some intel from the Leaf Village, stated White Zetsu. And I've learned that he's from another world. How is that even possible? Deidara questioned. Another world? Black Zetsu said, I don't know, that's all the information I got, and he was ready to plunge into the ground. I must go tell the others the same, be careful out there, he said. Toby said, wait, Zetsu, and rushed to him. They were conversing in a low voice that Deidara couldn't hear. He inquired, what are they talking about? Toby said, so did you find the other Jinchuriki, but in a different tone. White Zetsu remarked, well, the 8 tails is on search, but we found the 6 tails. Good, Toby replied, have him and his friends go and retrieve it, when he has the chance. Of course, responded Black Zetsu. White Zetsu questioned, but aren't you going to face Kakashi? Maybe, but if I do, I have to be careful or else, he'll know who I really am. Toby said after being silent for a minute. According to White Zetsu, fair enough. Go now, and if Sasuke and Itachi meet come to me if one of them dies. Okay, White Zetsu said, good luck, and then he fell to the ground. Deidara inquired, what were you two talking about? Returning to his normal tone, Toby continued, oh, I was asking if he heard about that restaurant we went to the other day. Deidara moaned, "Let's just go," and mounted one of the clay pigeons before taking flight. Toby got on the second clay pigeon and pursued Deidara, shouting, "Hey! Wait for me, Deidara. Only a quick note, I do know who Toby is. I've finished the 4th Ninja War and am only awaiting the release of the remaining English dubs. After that, I'll watch Boruto. If you're not familiar with him, do this to learn more about him." Upon viewing episode 138, revisit the Kakashi Chronicles. That's the only hint I have, so let's just go on. Alongside Buck Bull, Yamato, Hinata, Naruto, and Spider-Man. But they weren't by themselves as Naruto, Buck Bull, Spider-Man, and Hinata Yamato strolled down the street, watching for Sasuke, his brother, or any of the Akatsuki members. Spider-Man muttered, "Guys, my spider sense tells me we're not alone." "We know," Yamato said, "just keep walking and wait for my word, then we'll attack." Spider-Man responded, "Got it," and carried on strolling idly until they heard a voice approaching. "Okay, you all know what to do," Yamato said softly. "Yes sir," Hinata muttered. "Yeah," Naruto muttered. When they replied, Yamato threw 3 ninja stars behind him, and everyone saw someone leap out of the way and land in front of everyone. Naruto gasped when he was in front of everyone. "Sort of," Spider-Man gulped. "It's you," he exclaimed. "Friend of yours, Naruto?" Spider-Man inquired. Naruto remarked, "When I first met him, I thought he was." The man asked, "So you sense me coming, huh?" Spider-Man raised his hand and stated, "I did actually." The man said to Spider-Man, I don't recognize you as part of the Hidden Leaf Soldiers. Who are you supposed to be?" "And who are you?" Spider-Man said. "The name is, Spider-Man." He was Orochimaru's assistant. Yamato replied, "His name is, Kabuto Yakushi." "Why is it that when people's bosses are dead, they just keep running after you?" replied Spider-Man. "You know it's brash of you to approach us like this, Kabuto," Yamato replied. "Don't worry, I just want to have a nice chat with Naruto." Kabuto replied. In the meanwhile, Sakura. After Sasuke sent Sakura, Baisuke, and Shiba into a town. "He's close," Biscuit remarked, continuing to smell the ground. "Well Sakura, can you sense Sasuke close by at all?" replied Shiba. Sakura exclaimed, "No, not at all, I can't even see him." At that moment, they passed a young woman with red hair who was wearing spectacles and a gray cloak. As they moved away from her, Sasuke's face was beginning to darken. Biscuit and Shiba were asked by Sakura, "Is the scent getting stronger, guys?" "Actually, it's beginning to become the opposite," Biscuit stated. "What?" exclaimed Sakura. "Biscuit is right," Shiba replied. "I'm losing it as well. And pretty quickly too." Sakura mentally exclaimed, "Damn it Sasuke. Where are you?" before entering the message into her communicator. Inquiring, "What are you doing?" Biscuit, "I'm going to try and call Spider-Man to patrol this village, while we check the outside of the village," Sakura responded. The words, "good thinking, Sakura," were spoken by Shiba. "For a brat," Biscuit remarked. Sakura scowled to herself, "I'm going to kill this hound when we find Sasuke, regardless of whether it turns me into a rogue ninja." 10 feet away from Sakura. "I thought I sensed chakra, but that's strange." Returning with Spider-Man and Naruto. "All I want is a pleasant conversation with Naruto. Why do you need a friend to help you at the funeral of your leader?" Spider-Man inquired. So you've also heard about Lord Orochimaru? Kabuto inquired. Indeed, it has been heard around the world, Yamato responded. We're taking you in now that it's just you. Hi, Kabuto, Naruto yelled. You ought to be aware of Sasuke's location if Orochimaru's death is real. You're still talking about Sasuke, huh? Joked Kabuto. Well, Naruto grumbled, I don't really care about him. However, I got you a small gift that you might find interesting. Kabuto pulled out a black book from his coat pocket. Could that be Orochimaru's diary or something else? Spider-Man inquired. Orochimaru, said Yamato. Whatever. No, it's intelligence and organization we gathered of the Akatsuki, Kabuto replied. What about it, then? Naruto inquired. Now it's yours. It's all yours, Kabuto remarked. Since Orochimaru is no longer alive, are you attempting to reach an agreement with the Leaf Village? Questioned Yamato. No, I'm not too foolish to think that the Hidden Leaf will be willing to negotiate with the likes of me, replied Kabuto. Yamato remarked, so instead of explaining, the Akatsuki aren't after you, so why would you help us against them? It's simply a gift for Naruto, Kabuto replied, a token of my gratitude. After all, the Akatsuki is pursuing him. Spider-Man remarked, I hate to say it, but he does have a point. Wait a second. What did you mean by thankfulness? Naruto inquired. When Lord Orochimaru died, I lost sight in my identity again of how I was, remarked Kabuto. Once more. Spider-Man inquired. Kabuto went on to say, I never knew my parents or my homeland, adding, the enemy took me into their city when I was very little, I was used as a spy scene. I was a child, moving around from country to country, village to village, for a long time the idea of home was unknown to me, until I was found by Orochimaru and became his assistant. But now, it's gone again, as he concluded the book and it fell directly in front of Naruto. Some gratitude, Spider-Man remarked. Naruto, you understand the anguish of who I am and the lack of an identity, don't you? Kabuto inquired. I'd rather not comprehend a word you say. Naruto uttered. Kabuto laughed. Are you certain? Who are you really? He inquired. Are you the Nine-Tails Fox or Naruto Uzumaki? I am aware that you were once disliked and rejected. In his mind, Spider-Man said, just like what he told me. Rewind. Everyone detested me as a child since I was born with the Nine-Tails Fox. That onslaught claimed the lives of everyone's parents, kids, and friends, and the fourth Hokage encased that beast inside of me. When they learned about it, Kiba, Ino, Shikamaru, Choji, and even Sakura all detested me. I had no friends, no family, no life, I had nothing, and even all of the shinobi professors detested me. Flashback end. Kabuto went on, you must have doubted who you were destined to be, but you believed in your own strength and persuaded yourself that you were Naruto Uzumaki. You conquered the icy stairs meant for the Nine Tails by forcing your own individuality. What is he doing? What does he want from Naruto? Hinata inquired. Yamato remarked, I can't figure it out either. Not important. He launched a web at Kabuto, but Kabuto swiftly sliced it in half with a kunai knife. Heh, heist reflexes, Millhouse, Spider-Man said. He's not getting anything from Naruto. I see why you named yourself, Spider-Man, Kabuto replied, you have the same jutsu as Kadamaru, but without the 8 arms. In his mind, Naruto moaned, hey, he's right, the guy with the spider jutsu Niji fought 3 years ago did have 8 arms. Why didn't I notice that before? He asked. FYI, I did have 8 arms once, but then, I turned into a giant mutated monster. Spider-Man said. Looking to his right, Kabuto remarked, funny, so did he. Anyway, that's why you're so confident, Naruto, you have no doubts at all about your identity, and why you found friends who accept you so readily, he said, his smile turning to a disillusioned frown. But my story is different, he said, slowly lowering his hood. Instead of reaching beyond Lord Orochimaru, I stubbornly kept cleaning to the best of my ability, Naruto, he said, taking off his glasses. Spider-Man questioned, what are you talking about? He made me see, replied Kabuto. Made you see? A bewildered Naruto asked. When Kabuto slowly turned back to face everyone, half of his right face was covered with white, pale snake skin. That's right, he stated, and doing so, I decided I will try to become just like you, that's why my past cleared to me. Everyone screamed. What the hell? Exclaimed Spider-Man. Naruto inquired, Kabuto, what happened to you? With an eerie smile, he declared, I'm going to use what I was able to absorb of Lord Orochimaru to become a better, stronger, Kabuto Yakushi. Spider-Man said, he didn't look like that last time you all saw him, right? No, he didn't. Yamato replied, that skin he has is similar to Orochimaru. I will find a new identity, and you have given me a clue how, replied Kabuto, that's why I'm so grateful to you Naruto. Lord Orochimaru is a symbol of renewal, he will live inside me as a reminder of what I must overcome. You saw that man? Inquired Naruto. Naruto snarled, and since then, you won't believe the life force it's given me, every day I can feel it consuming my entire body, it's amazing, Kabuto said, I took a part of Lord Orochimaru's corpse after Sasuke defeated him. He then raised his right sleeve and showed everyone his right arm, which was covered in white snake scales. And then I simply crafted that piece right onto my own body, he said. The Spider-Man remarked, more like creepy. Yamato said, also, unbelievable. Hinata gazed at Kabuto intently and exclaimed, wait a minute. Byakugan. It's already taken 1/3 of his body. Have to fight desperately, muttered Kabuto, only to avoid being subsumed by it. Every day I feel my will to surpass Lord Orochimaru reinforced to me. Spider-Man remarked, I think you're getting out of hand out of all this. Quite you, exclaimed Kabuto. According to Yamato, he's right, Kabuto, just come quietly. Yamato said, sorry, I can't do that. As he hurled a web at Kabuto's mouth, he added, sure you can, here I'll help, and Kabuto muttered as he struggled to remove the web. Care to do the honors, Naruto? Spider-Man said. Gladly. Naruto exclaimed as he rushed at Kabuto with his fist. Kabuto managed to stop Naruto's attack by removing the web from his lips, but Naruto persisted in attacking Kabuto, blocking each blow he launched. Holding both of Naruto's fists, Kabuto questioned, do you really think you can beat me, Naruto? I'm not a fool, he said. As he sprang over Naruto and landed on top of Kabuto, Spider-Man exclaimed, says the guy who talks like a fool. Kabuto then grabbed Spider-Man's leg and flung him to a tree, but Spider-Man used his hands to stick to the branch and rebounded back to Kabuto, kicking his face. Naruto yelled, yeah, way to go Spider-Man. As Spider-Man landed in front of him, he continued, and here's another thing, it's okay to look like Harry Potter, but just because he talks to snakes doesn't mean he is one. Kabuto grabbed a kunai knife and remarked, you don't shut up often do you? As he dodged Kabuto's blows, Spider-Man said, nah, that word doesn't exist in my dictionary. Hey, watch the new outfit, Copperhead, he added, avoiding Kabuto's blows and punching him in the face. Though Kabuto said, "This man is good, who exactly is he?" Behind him, Kabuto exclaimed, "Wood style," as the enormous, long piece of wood slipped from his grasp and around Kabuto's body. "Wow, good job, Woody," responded Spider-Man. Naruto said, "It's over, we got you." Spider-Man exclaimed, "Spidey sense," as his spider senses began to quiver. Hinata yelled, "Guys! He's behind you!" Spider-Man swiftly uppercut him after avoiding a strike from Kabuto behind him. He chuckled, "Ha ha ha ha. Clever." "Damn it," said Naruto. "In time, I will be able to gain complete control over all of Lord Orochimaru's powers and abilities," replied Kabuto, "and when that happens, I'll fight you again, Naruto, but that's later. My first priority is to avenge him, my priority is Sasuke." Instantly, Naruto exclaimed, "Hold up. What are you going to do to him?" "We'll find Sasuke before he does," Spider-Man declared, glancing at Naruto. "He won't be doing anything to him." Kabuto grinned. As he started to fade away, he added, "I may not know much about you, Spider-Man, but I had fun fighting you, let's do it again," gathering his hands. "Until next time," he said. Spider-Man said, "Whoa. That was both cool and creepy." "Well, at least we don't have to waste more time fighting him," Yamato replied. Spider-Man's communications said, "He_low. He_low. SP_ma_. Kenyo_H_RM_. Spider-Man said to his communications, "Huh. Sakura, is that you?" "Sakura," gasped Naruto. Sakura broke things up a little and questioned, "Y_S_, and Y_U he_R_E?" "Yeah, but I can barely understand you, what's wrong?" "Me and T_E neen_A ho_NDS are at a 6_lage. W_ had saw_ux SC_NT, but as so_N as we got CLO_ to it, it fat_D_Y, stated Sakura. "Okay, I sort of understand that," Spider-Man replied. "You said the hounds got Sasuke's scent, is he in that village?" "We D_ant know." Sakura responded, "We're _out_ith_villa_e re_ht now to_ee if he lo_t, D_y_u think that _ou can co_e o_ to the _ilage and L_ok a ro_d to ci_ he's st_llth_re. Spider-Man remarked, "If I can find it." Yamato said, "Spider-Man, what's going on?" Spider-Man remarked, "I believe Sakura is somewhat similar to Sasuke." Naruto said, "What? Are you sure?" "I don't know," Spider-Man replied. "She said that her ninja hounds were following Sasuke's scent to a village, but when they got close to it, it faded away." Looking at the trees to the left, Yamato asked, "A village?" "The only village closest to us is through that woods," he answered. "Tell Sakura you'll be on your way, but be careful, it could be a trap." "All right," replied Spider-Man before returning to his communications. "Sakura, I'll stop by the village to get a better look. See if your puppies can locate Sasuke's scent again." Sakura said, "th_nk yo_ sp__n h_y sac_ra. Are we searching outside the villag_on_y because you're apprehensive about seeing sas_ku? Asked Biscuit. F_u, Sakura yelled that it reached Spider-Man's communications and caused damage to his ear. OW, Spider-Man let out a groan. Spider-Man? Are you okay? Asked Hinata. I guess, Spider-Man replied, you guys go ahead, I'll go the village Sakura was in and have a look around. According to Yamato, okay, try to contact us if you find anything. Spider-Man said, sure, good luck, as swinging through the trees on his web. Alright, Yamato said to Hinata and Naruto, let's continue. Naruto and Hinata answered, right, and proceeded straight down the path. Naruto then picked up the book Kabuto held and glanced down at it. He snarled, you won't reach Sasuke you bastard, and continued to follow Hinata and Yamato. Then he heard something behind him, but he didn't see anything. Who's there? He said, but nothing was there. Come on, Naruto. Yamato shouted, I'm on my way. Naruto shouted and approached him and Hinata. Hinata questioned, is something wrong, Naruto? Naruto looked over his shoulder and said, no, just thought I heard something, and they carried on walking. You may have new friends Spider-Man, but they won't stop me from killing you. With Spider-Man. The settlement Sakura was in before was reached by Spider-Man swinging through the trees on his web. As he arrived in the village, he said, I guess this is it, as he shot a web at a building and swung above it. Everyone gasped in shock. Don't mind me, just swinging above you all looking for someone, Spider-Man said to everyone. I'm glad no pigeons are here to poop on my costume, but I miss everyone calling me for help, and I hope MJ could forgive me for being stuck in a ninja world, he said in his subconscious. He had no idea that someone had noticed him. This should be interesting. His spider sense tingled as he landed on the edge of a building and looked around. Okay, now if I were an ex-hidden leaf shinobi that's hunting for his brother, where would I be? He asked himself. Maybe, he already left the village when I got here, he said. Or not. He yelled as he flipped over someone behind him who was swinging a giant sword at him. Landing behind him, he discovered that the person brandishing the blade was a teenager. Wow, I could have sworn you were Orochimaru's ex-prisoner, Kadamaru, stated the kid. Kinda get that a lot when I first came here, Spider-Man replied. Wait, hang on, you know the spider jutsu guy? The child remarked, well, I heard about him, but I never met him. Who are you? Spider-Man inquired. The boy laughed and said, well, I shouldn't tell you. Nah, he'll get over it. The bewildered Spider-Man inquired. Anyway, the name is Suigetsu. Suigetsu and Spider-Man exchanged glances as though they were engaged in a gazing contest. Wondering if Spider-Man was a hidden leaf shinobi, Suigetsu said. Spider-Man said, sort of, and what are you supposed to be? Suigetsu lamented as he ran toward Spider-Man, swung the sword at him, but he backflipped, avoided the sword, and landed on a railing. I already told you my name, he muttered, pointing his sword at Spider-Man, and my name will be the last one you'll ever hear. Spider-Man exclaimed, oh, what big sword you have, and sent his webs at Suigetsu. However, the webs passed through him as if they had fallen into the ocean. Whoa! Okay, I have to admit, that was cool, Spider-Man remarked afterwards. Suigetsu jumped into the air and prepared an airstrike, saying, thanks, now it's my turn. However, Spider-Man leaped aside, and Suigetsu slashed the railing he was on in half. When Suigetsu thought, damn it. This guy won't stand still. He looked at Suigetsu closely after Spider-Man landed on the building next to him. This guy looks dangerous, but my spider sense is telling me he's working with someone, he thought to himself. Suigetsu then jumped over to Spider-Man and hit him again, but he avoided it. "Dude! Seriously, why do you have that big of a blade?" he asked. "It's not that hard to cut butter." "Well, I can't wait to see how much you have when I cut them out of you," Suigetsu said, charging at Spider-Man, but Spider-Man leaped into the air. "Oh, so you have jokes?" Suigetsu questioned. He snatched Suigetsu's blade out of this person's hands and webbed it, saying, "Sorry, but no swords allowed when you fight, Spider-Man." Suigetsu watched his sword fall directly behind Spider-Man and exclaimed, "Hey!" Spider-Man pounded his hands together and exclaimed, "Now, let's use fists, like gentlemen." "As you wish," said Suigetsu as he sprang towards Spider-Man, who also lunged at him and delivered the initial blow to Suigetsu's face. However, Suigetsu's head burst into water like a water balloon. When Spider-Man turned to face Suigetsu and saw his head forming back, he exclaimed, "What the? Man, he reminds me of Karen." As he grabbed his blade, Suigetsu exclaimed, "Ha, sucker," before running at Spider-Man, "You really think that you could beat me? I'll drown you with my whole body," he shouted. Spider-Man mused to himself, "Great, this world has its own Hydro-Man as well." Webbed pulled himself to Suigetsu and attempted to grasp him after Suigetsu swung his sword at Spider-Man, but he ducked the blow and passed straight through him. We fell to the ground and coughed up some water. He coughed, should have seen that coming, and swiftly swung his web away from Suigetsu. Taking aim at Spider-Man, Suigetsu exclaimed, "Hey! I'm not done with you yet. I need to call for backup," Spider-Man said, slamming into his comms. "Hello? Sakura? Naruto? Anyone come in?" he called out, but no one answered. He put his hand inside his mask and went to his ear, grabbing his comm and noticing that it was wet and soaked. "Crap must have damaged when I went through that guy," he said, before his spider sense hit him. He leaped away from the wall, and Suigetsu slashed where he was. "Excuse me. But can we continue this fight some other time?" Spider-Man asked. Suigetsu said, What's wrong, scared of a little water?" After webbed a flower pot and swung it at Suigetsu's head, Spider-Man questioned, "Who do I look like, the Wicked Witch from the West?" Suigetsu snarled in rage and ran at Spider-Man with his sword, but he leaped over it and smashed the wall's railing. The rubble was about to fall on the villagers, but Spider-Man caught them in time. Spider-Man grunted and said, "Makes you wanna wish you had a steel umbrella, huh?" One of the locals questioned, "Who are you?" He shouted, "Don't worry about it, get out of here." After everyone had cleared out, Spider-Man placed the rubble on the ground and turned to face Suigetsu, who was charging at him. He then swung away from him and launched a web toward a building. Spider-Man told himself, "I need to leave this village before someone else is hurt because I can't fight this guy there." Spider-Man was shouted at by Suigetsu, "You're not fleeing from me." Spider-Man declared, "I'm already am, liquid face." Using a jump attack, Suigetsu declared, "I'm going to make you eat those words." Sheesh, not only he has Hydro-Man's powers, he has his attitude as well. In the interim, while running along a trail, Kiba and Akamaru haven't yet discovered anything. Kiba inquired, "See anything, Akamaru?" In response, Akamaru barked. "Yeah, me neither," Kiba said. "Whoa! Akamaru, you see that?" they exclaimed as they noticed two dead bodies in front of them. "These guys were stabbed," Kiba stated, observing the blood soaked in their clothes as Akamaru stopped and barked close to the dead bodies. You think Sasuke or one of the Akatsuki members did this, Akamaru? He inquired. Akamaru whimpered. Yeah, Sasuke wouldn't kill anyone if he might know we're looking for him, and the Akatsuki aren't looking for people to kill, just Naruto or any other Jinchuriki. At that moment, Akamaru snarled. Kiba said, "Hey, what's wrong?" Kiba gulped as Akamaru responded with an angry bark. Kiba scented the bodies and said, "Are you sure?" "Yeah, you're right, this scent does match with," Kiba said. Spider-Man. Returning with Spider-Man. Achoo. Do man, why don't I ever learn to not sneeze inside my mask? And why do I have the feeling someone's talking about me? When Spider-Man swung out of the village and landed on a tree branch, he said, "Okay, Spidey sense says, he's still after me." He looked back and said, "I have to think of a way to beat him, and quick." Then he had an epiphany and exclaimed, "Hello Spidey." He hit himself in the head and said, "You beat someone like him before, and you should know how to do it again." He removed his web shooters and regular webs and installed some new webs inside. "Let's hope it works though," he said, looking behind him and noticing Suigetsu approaching. Suigetsu paused and glanced about, but he was unable to see Spider-Man. Where did he go? He wondered himself. Spider-Man shouted behind Suigetsu, "Right here, Shark Boy," and booted him with his webbed foot. However, Suigetsu exploded and Spider-Man clung to a tree. He, nice move," Suigetsu reconstructed, adding, "but even your webs won't hold me, and your stupid attacks won't do you any good." As he launched his web toward Suigetsu, Spider-Man remarked, "True, but luckily, I have these webs just for you." However, the web was different and began to form around Suigetsu. However, Suigetsu said, What's going?" "It's like this web is absorbing my chakra." His entire body froze as soon as the web encircled him. Spider-Man looked at Suigetsu and said, "Well, isn't this a sticky situation you got yourself into? I could tell you the science behind it, but I don't think anyone ever hears it," he said, swinging his web away. "And I better get out of here, before the egg gets out of his shell," he said, escaping the shell as soon as he was far away from Suigetsu and breathing repeatedly as if he was out of breath. Glancing around, he said, "That little pest. Damn it, he got away," he murmured. Suigetsu thought to himself, "If I tell Sasuke about this, he'll kill me and who knows how he'll do it," thinking, "I'll just keep silent about it, and hopefully, I won't run into him when I'm with Sasuke," before running further away from the hamlet. With Spider-Man. Spider-Man landed on a branch and looked behind him. "Looks like I lost him," he said. Who was he? He asked himself. Well, in any case, I should head back to the village before. At that moment, his spider sense went off like an alarm bell. Whoa! My spider sense never went this crazy before. Spider-Man yelled while holding his head. Then, a giant explosion happened far away from him. Whoa! Spider-Man exclaimed, shocked. This world has its own nukes as well, he asked himself. I better go check it out, he said as he webbed swinging himself over to the explosion. In the interim, as he pulled a scroll with a purple snake on it from his belt and held it in the air facing the explosion, Suigetsu exclaimed, that blast, it's near our run-of point. Wait. Is he? He questioned. Oh no, he screamed, it's just as I feared. Somewhere. That fool Deidara, he blew himself up. And what about Toby? Probably got caught up in it. Suigetsu is back. Suigetsu went to a riverbank after the explosion had stopped and said, okay, when the snake's crest disappears, then, I do this. He proceeded to open the scroll and took out a small bottle, saying, add a drop of Sasuke's blood, and then smacked his hand against the scroll. Jutsu, summoning. Suigetsu gazed at him and was somewhat alarmed when a large snake suddenly materialized in front of him, appearing battered. So, Manda, this is Orochimaru's summons. Orochimaru can hardly control him, so how did Sasuke? He questioned, pausing for a moment to examine his eyes, which were red and featured black lines before they vanished and returned to normal. He mentally remarked, I see, he used Genjutsu. He was harmed and damaged as he saw someone come to his right at that very moment. Whoa! You're in disarray, Sasuke. As he hurried to him, he said, who were you attacking? He inquired. You took advantage of me. With a growl, Manda turned to face Sasuke. Insolence! What a brat you are! You have no right to treat me this way. Those awful eyes of yours hypnotized me. You did this to me, how dare you, he muttered, glancing into Sasuke's Sharingan eyes. After that, he became silent for a while. Oh, man, well at least he's dead now, Suigetsu replied. You should really treat pets better, Sasuke. I mean, Manda was Orochimaru's pet, you shouldn't use them for shields or anything. There wasn't any time, Sasuke stated as he stood up, and it was my only opportunity to get away. Sasuke! Some women yelled. It was Carrion, and with her was Yugo, the other two members of Sasuke's team. Oh, thank God. I assumed you were no longer alive. She exclaimed excitedly. What took place? Yugo asked, glancing at Manda. I was fighting a member of the Akatsuki, Sasuke recalled. He blew himself up and tried to take me with it. You concealed inside Manda and traveled to another dimension using the transportation technology, correct? Sasuke nodded. All right, so why are you all beaten up? Suigetsu speculated that he posed another query. Just before we jumped, Manda and I were hit by the blast wave, Sasuke replied. That Akatsuki, he was stronger than I expected. According to Suigetsu, well, in any case, you need some time to rest up, Karen. He looked at Karen and questioned. Yeah, but I should say the same to you, Karen remarked, glancing at Suigetsu before continuing. What? What are you discussing? Suigetsu inquired. I am referring to your chakra. It's not as powerful the last time I sensed it, Karen remarked. Damn it, I forgot that Karen was a scenery ninja, Suigetsu remarked, gasping and wiping a tear from his cheek. Luckily, I know her weakness, he said, grinning at Sasuke. Ah, Karen, he softly said, I had no idea that you cared about me more than Sasuke. Shut up, you idiot. Karen snarled and punched Suigetsu's head, causing it to burst with water. Let's just get Sasuke and find him somewhere to rest, she shouted. That was for you, Suigetsu and Karen fans. I hope you're content. Suigetsu chuckled and turned to face Yugo, saying, okay, Yugo. Do you want to take the lead? Oh sure, Yugo replied while tending to Sasuke, and everyone fled the scene. Meanwhile, at the scene of the explosion. After sniffing the entire area where the explosion occurred, Yamato, Naruto and Hinata emerged behind the group. Naruto, Sakura shouted. Looks like that explosion caught everyone's attention, Yamato added. You everyone. What took place? Naruto ran to them and asked. Sakura replied, this is proof that Sasuke was here right before we got here. Naruto let out a gasp. It's very faint, but his scent is definitely here, Biscuit remarked. That's not all, Akino continued, we've detected some other sense as well. What is meant by that? Naruto inquired. By the looks of this crater, a battle was fought here, Shino stated. I thought so, Shiba replied, sniffing the ground, because one of the other ones is exactly the same as the one I found in the city, as I suspected. Sakura let out a gasp. Sasuke isn't going it alone. He is traveling with 3 other people, which must be his accomplishments. Sakura remarked, then in the town, reflecting on the city she was in. Yes, Kakashi responded, cutting Sakura off in her thoughts. Sasuke most likely organized a team. Additionally, Deidara is the owner of one of the 5 perfumes here. An individual from the Akatsuki. Hey, wasn't he the one who was sent to another dimension by your jutsu and self-destructed? Sakura exclaimed. She questioned Kakashi. The Akatsuki were operated in 2-man teams, therefore there should be 3 remaining, and Sasuke is in a 4-person team. I thought so, Kakashi replied, but it seems he faked his own death to escape. I don't care how many of them there are. Naruto yelled, let's just keep moving and track down Sasuke's scent. Hakken said, sorry, I'm afraid we can't do that. What? Why not? Naruto questioned. Gazing at the explosion, Kakashi exclaimed, the trail goes cold here. Naruto yelled, and what does that mean? It means Sasuke was either blasted by the explosion, or he used a teleportation technique to escape before it went off, Yamato stated. Transportation technique? Naruto inquired, what is? After noticing that Spider-Man was nowhere to be found, he called out to everyone in the area, hey, where's Spider-Man? According to Kakashi, we don't know, wasn't he with you guys? Yes, but Sakura asked him to search the village for her after the ninja hounds that were with her, lost Sasuke or one of his new friends sent, Yamato replied. Damn it, I forgot about that. Sakura nevertheless, I hope he wasn't attacked by them or anything. Naruto questioned the others, did any of you try communicating him? Kakashi stated, we tried, but he wouldn't answer his comms. Hinata glanced around and remarked, hey, Kiba and Akamaru aren't here either. Oh, don't worry, Hinata, Kakashi responded, I'm sure Kiba will arrive in. Behind them, a voice called out, guys. It was Kiba on Akamaru. 0 seconds, concluded Kakashi. Naruto said, Kiba, where were you? Disregarding Naruto's query, Kiba said, where's Spider-Man? Upon noticing Kiba's angry expression, Kakashi asked, HM? Kiba, is there something? Kiba yelled, where is he, louder than before. Yamato remarked, Kiba, calm down and tell us what's going on. Spider-Man, who had appeared beside everyone, exclaimed, hey guys. You all saw that explosion too? Kiba shouted, you, as Akamaru snarled at Spider-Man. Me? Spider-Man said, glancing around and pointing at himself before his spider sense activated. Oh no. Akamaru tackled Spider-Man before he could respond, and he lay on the ground with Akamaru's paw on his chest. Not this again. Spider-Man moaned, his voice cracking. Naruto exclaimed, Kiba. What the hell are you? In front of everyone, Kiba held his hand and exclaimed, stay back, guys. Kakashi said, Kiba, what's going on? That guy is a murder. Kiba exclaimed, gesturing at Spider-Man, I'll tell you what's going on, Kakashi-sensei. Everyone let out a gasp. Then Naruto screamed, what, he's a murder. Before this happened, Akamaru and I found 2 dead bodies and Spider-Man's scent was all over them. Kiba, that's stupid, Sakura responded. Lady Tsunade told me that her medical team used the Back to the Past jutsu to see his memories and she said nothing about Spider-Man being a murder. Then, he must have used some kind of genjutsu or something to trick them, remarked Kiba. Naruto questioned, is that even possible, Sakura? I can't tell, I've never used the jutsu myself, replied Sakura. But I know for sure that it's impossible. Whatever, Kiba remarked as he approached Spider-Man, me and Akamaru's noses never lie. Kiba, why don't we ask Spider-Man if it's true, replied Sai. Kiba kneeled in front of Spider-Man and yelled, oh shut up, Sai. We're taking you back to the Hidden Leaf Village to see if you really are a murderer, Kiba stated. As he attempted to pull Akamaru's paw, Spider-Man exclaimed, Kiba, you got it all wrong. I didn't kill anyone, Kiba responded, tell that to the Hokage. Spider-Man replied, then, I'm sorry to do this to your dog, as he shot a web line toward Akamaru. He then applied pressure to his web shooters, causing Akamaru to receive an electric shock. He collapsed on the ground, and Spider-Man performed a backflip, landing a short distance away from everyone. Akamaru! Kiba exclaimed as he approached Akamaru. Although a little sore, he was okay. Are you alright? Kiba inquired. Akamaru let out a bark. Kiba yelled at Spider-Man, good, now try to recover while I take care of this. Yamato yelled, Kiba, stop. This is getting ridiculous, as the others rushed after him. Grabbing his kuni knife, Kiba swung it at Spider-Man, but he continued to sidestep the blow. Fourth wall break Spider-Man, I'm going to give away too much, but this reminds me so much of my trip to Tokyo. Kiba screamed, hold still, you stupid bug. Spider-Man shrieked, arachnid. As he stopped this attack, Kiba questioned, what? Before Spider-Man could finish, Kiba kicked him in the stomach, causing him to crash into a tree. Spiders aren't bugs, they're arac. He concluded. As Spider-Man strained to stand up, his spider sense activated. Okay, I got it, Kiba stated as he approached Spider-Man. I was going to take you alive, but since you hurt Akamaru, I'm bringing you back, dead. My spider sense? He replied, funny, it's not warning me about Kiba, it's coming from. Spider-Man shouted, Kiba, stop. Someone's nearby. Nice try, Kiba laughed and hurried over to Spider-Man, but I'm not falling for that, he continued. He was about to hit Spider-Man with his kuni knife when he was seized by a robotic arm. Wait! Spider-Man exclaimed, I recognize this arm. Kiba said, wait, you what, as the arm flung him to the ground and the other shinobi caught up. Sakura exclaimed, what the hell is that, as Spider-Man was seized by another robotic arm. Spider-Man! Naruto exclaimed. As he emerged in front of everyone, a voice exclaimed, I hate to ruin your fun, but if anyone is going to kill the spider, it's me. Marvel exclaimed, it's you. Dr. Octopus. Ock, said Spider-Man, what are you doing here? Wait. Better question, how are you here? I've been told by Tinkerer that he got rid of you, Ock replied. However, when he said that, I thought he killed you. You actually believe that? Grinned Spider-Man. Squeezing Spider-Man, Ock exclaimed, quite. Anyway, when he told me that you were in a different dimension, I figured that if he can't kill you, then I will. Naruto exclaimed, I don't think so, pal. Ock glanced down at Naruto and his group. As he pinned Spider-Man to a tree with his claw, he exclaimed, "Humph, what a bold young boy you are." "And who are you?" he asked, approaching Naruto's face. "I am Naruto Uzumaki," Naruto shouted. "Who are you?" As he made his way to Spider-Man, Otto exclaimed, "The name is Dr. Otto Octavius." "Now all of you run along, I have a bug to kill," he continued. Spider-Man webbed Ock's face and exclaimed, "Ock, I've told you countless times that spiders are arachnids." Ock fought to remove the web, but Spider-Man managed to break free from Ock's robotic arm and flipped, landing in front of Naruto and the others. Sakura questioned, "Spider-Man, who is this?" Spider-Man retorted, "But I call him Dr. Octopus." "That's Dr. Otto Octavius." "Why is that?" Sai inquired. Spider-Man said, "His robotic arms." Sakura remarked, "But an octopus has 8 arms." Spider-Man shrugged and said, "I sort of count his real arms and legs." As he tore the web from his face, Ock screamed, "Enough! Everyone, get out of my way! Spider-Man is mine!" Then, one of his arms extended for Spider-Man. As a block of wood sprang from the earth and seized Otto's arm, Yamato exclaimed, "Wood style!" As Ock gazed at the wood and pondered its origin, he exclaimed, "What the?" Yamato was told by Spider-Man, "Thanks for the hand, Woody." "No problem," answered Yamato. As his other arm shattered the wood restraining the other arm, Ock said, "Even I have to admit, this type of power is impressive, but it won't stop me from killing you, Spider-Man." Yamato exclaimed, "Damn it." Kakashi exclaimed, "Spider-Man. How do we stop him?" "Well, we can either knock him out or take all his robotic arms off," Spider-Man replied. "But don't kill him. If he's here, then he could have something to get me back home." Otto swung 2 of his arms toward everyone, but they all leaped aside as he yelled, "Oh, you're going home all right, in a box to put underground." As a group of shadow clones leaped on Ock, Naruto yelled, "Shadow clone jutsu. That'll hold him. Get off me." Ock screamed. "Good job, Spiky," Spider-Man remarked after slapping Naruto's back and making him vanish. "Oops," he added. Naruto said to Spider-Man's left, "Spider-Man, I'm over here." Spider-Man said, "Oh, sorry." As he stood up and all the clones vanished, Ock yelled, "Enough. Bring me Spider-Man, now." As Sakura ran at Ock, she exclaimed, "No way," but was seized by one of his arms. She attempted to free herself, but the arm was too powerful. "What is this? Some kind of puppet jutsu?" she wondered. A needle from the claw appeared in the middle, and Ock said, I see this kind of technology doesn't exist in this world," as another arm came toward her face. "Allow me to show you what it does." He was about to insert the needle into her body when Spider-Man webbed the arm and yanked it away from her. Spider-Man said, "That's not the proper way to do show and tell, Ock." Akamaru caught Sakura before she touched the ground, and Ock remarked, "Very well," as he threw her out of his arms. "Are you okay, Sakura?" Kiba inquired. Sakura responded, "Yeah, thanks guys," and Akamaru snarled as he observed Doc Ock fighting Spider-Man. According to Kiba, "Yeah, you're right Akamaru." "What did he say?" Sakura inquired. "After studying him, Akamaru and I came to the conclusion that he might have slain the men we had previously seen dead. No wonder he had the same scent as Spider-Man, they're from the same world," Kiba remarked, gesturing to Ock. Sakura muttered, "Heh, and I thought Naruto was a big idiot." "I heard that. Kiba shouted. Behind them, Kakashi muttered, let's talk about who's the biggest idiot later. He glanced at Ok closely and at the gadget that is tied to his arms on his back, saying, Hinata. Utilize your Byakugan to examine the object on his back more closely. All right, when Hinata said, Byakugan. That thing is attached to Ok's body as if it were a part of it, Hinata said, glancing at the gadget on his back. How is that even possible? Kiba inquired. Let's ask him later, Kakashi concluded. Let's charge in, and don't kill him, remember. In that case, I'll use my insects to distract him while you guys charge in, stated Shino. Well done, Shino. Kiba said. Ok, listen, I'm sort of helping these people right now, so could we fight another time? Spider-Man said, avoiding every blow Ok hurled at him. Then Ok's arm seized Spider-Man's face and thrashed him against a tree, he inquired. Spider-Man, you pass away right now. A swarm of tiny insects suddenly around Ok's face as he spoke. What are these things? He shouted and let Spider-Man go with one arm. My insects, said Shino as he approached Ok. They attack an enemy when an enemy attacks my command. Spider-Man may not be from any of the hidden villages or from beyond like you, but he proved that he was an ally by saving Naruto's life. And you are trying to kill him. I'll make sure that you won't do that. Wow, that was the nicest, and maybe the first, thing that anyone said to me. Spider-Man replied. Ok said, then you'll die, with him, as one of his arms reached out and seized Shino, dragging him to a tree. His insects fled from him as soon as Shino fell to the ground. If I have to kill you all to kill Spider-Man, then so be it. Ok growled, moving toward Shino, but Hinata blocked his path. With an angry expression on her face, Hinata yelled, leave him alone. Ok's arms suddenly seized her and slammed her to the ground. Ok kept her on the ground and said, you should have gotten in the way, young lady. Now you and your friends and Spider-Man will die. As Naruto seized Ok, he cried, leave her alone. Ok's arms parted, and Hinata saw Naruto clinging to him like he was in a rodeo. In her mind, she said, Naruto, just saved me. As he grasped his kunai and prepared to stab Ok's claw pack on his back, Naruto exclaimed, you're gonna pay for hurting Hinata. However, Ok's arms caught him before he could do so. As he tossed Naruto, Ok exclaimed, and you're gonna pay for getting in my way. Naruto was on the verge of collapsing to the ground when Spider-Man created a massive web behind him and shot several webs, which Naruto adhered to. I appreciate it, Spider-Man, but you could have made it less sticky and disgusting, Naruto remarked, glancing at the web as he attempted to escape. Spider-Man said, hey, I shot webs, not pillows. Oh, and everybody gets one. Naruto questioned, what? Spider-Man exclaimed, nothing. Then they witnessed Ok battling the other shinobi. As he and Yamato seized their kunai and severed the web Naruto was in, Kakashi exclaimed, we'll get Naruto out of this, you help the others. Spider-Man webbed swing to Ok and said, on it. Sai exclaimed, ninja art, super beast scroll, as two ink-based animals sprang from her scroll and charged at Ok. As he destroyed the monsters, Ok remarked, I must admit, your powers are great, but you can't defeat my Jun's mind. You mean the mind of a mad Jun's? As he webbed kicked Ok's head and landed in front of him, Spider-Man uttered those words. You, Ok said, this is it. I couldn't agree more, Spider-Man exclaimed, let's do this. Then, as he dusted his hands, Spider-Man jumped over Ok, avoiding two of his arms that attempted to grab him. He then webbed Ox back and pulled him to the ground, covering Ock in webs and webbed the forearms as well. "Well, that about wraps things up," Spider-Man exclaimed. Sakura remarked, "Heh, good work, Spider-Man." "Thanks," Spider-Man remarked. Looking at the web securing one of the arms, Hinata questioned, "Will this web hold him?" "For a while, yes," Spider-Man replied. As he and Akamaru approached Spider-Man, Kiba exclaimed, "Hey, Spider-Man. Me and Akamaru owe you an apology." "An apology?" Spider-Man inquired. "About attacking you earlier," Kiba responded. "That guy had the same scent as yours. He made me and Akamaru think you killed those two guys we saw earlier. We attacked you for no reason. We're sorry," Kiba stated as Akamaru gasped. Spider-Man comforted Akamaru and added, "Don't worry about it. In addition, it's not the first time that I've been held accountable for something I didn't do." Ock chuckled and said, "Believe me, Spider-Man. I would have paid a lot of money to watch that boy tear you to pieces, but I didn't travel all this way to watch someone else kill you. I want to kill you myself. Otto, do you know what? I'm flattered that you came all the way here to kill me. I mean, I didn't know you cared so much," Spider-Man remarked as he stepped on top of Ock. "Spider-Man, I just want to kill you," as he struggled to escape the web, Ock remarked. Yeah, we get it, you want Spider-Man dead," Kiba responded. "You want Spider-Man dead, but why?" asked Sakura. "He has repeatedly thwarted my plans." Ock replied. 20. As everyone stared at him, Spider-Man replied, "I've been keeping count." "Oh, Spider-Man, it was over 20. It was more than I can count," Ock remarked. "I will kill you, Spider-Man, and these kids won't stand in your way." Ock's four limbs suddenly sprang free and seized Sakura, Hinata, Shino, and Kiba. His torso then emerged from the web and stood up. As energy erupted from his arms and startled his four shinobi, he muttered, "Ock, leave them alone." As he booted Ock and his arms freed the four shinobi, Spider-Man exclaimed, "Are you okay, Sakura?" As Sakura was being helped up, Sai asked. "I believe so." Sakura rubbed her head and murmured, "Are you all okay?" She questioned Kiba, Shino, and Hinata. "Yeah, we're okay," Kiba said. "Otto, this is between us," Spider-Man cried out. "I concur." As Otto's robotic arms lunged toward Spider-Man, Sakura punched it before it could seize him. "You'll have to get past us first if you want Spider-Man." Sakura uttered those words as she and the other shinobi stood before Spider-Man. "Hey guys, I got this," Spider-Man said. Sakura stated, "We understand, but we're not letting you fight alone," as she turned to face Spider-Man. "Spider-Man, you're our ally as a shinobi. And as our ally, we're not letting you fight alone," Kiba declared. With a laugh, Spider-Man approached the group and said, "Thank you, everybody." "Now, Ock," he asked, "should we dance? This will be your final dance." As he charged at everyone and everyone charged at him, Ock uttered, "Let's see if Naruto is able to get out of his predicament while they are dancing." Yes, the pun is meant. There. That ought to be the final one, Yamato remarked. "At last." "Thanks guys," Naruto said. As he, Yamato, and Naruto hurried to the shinobi battle against Dr. Octopus, Kakashi stated, "Okay, let's go back and help the others." In the bushes, Naruto suddenly noticed someone staring at him and exclaimed, "Wait! Is that you?" As he hurriedly called forth several shadow clones to aid Yamato and Kakashi, he said, running directly to the man. He concealed behind a tree and peered slightly to his right before spotting two red eyes in the shadows. The Sharingan. Is it Sasuke? Naruto asked himself. Then a man with blue hair and an Akatsuki robe with a hidden leaf headband scrawled on it emerged from the shadows. No, Itachi Uchiha is that person. Go now. Uzumaki Naruto. And Naruto emerged from his hiding place, he added. He said, so, you're here to capture me, huh? No, I'm not, Itachi replied. I'm here to talk to you right now. Two of Naruto's shadow clones were suddenly charging behind Itachi. Itachi hurled two kunai knives at them without turning around, and they vanished. Naruto snarled, as if I'd listen to whatever you have to say. Itachi exclaimed, I know you're out here by yourself. Why don't you run? It's one-on-one versus the Sharingan, so always run, Naruto mentally remarked. This person can use the same finger he uses to draw signs to cast a genjutsu if it's a 2-on-1 attack from behind. I must use caution. Anyhow, he said, I can be any number between 1 and 1,000. Besides, why would I run? I'll get to see Sasuke if I catch you. Humph. What is causing your obsession with my brother? He's just a rogue ninja, Itachi said. Although Sasuke and I are not related, he treats me more like a brother than you ever did him. Itachi opened the right side of his cloak and a number of crows emerged, circling Naruto. When he looked closely at them, he saw that they all had the Sharingan. At that moment, the sky turned orange, and Naruto was floating in midair with crows swarming him. My genjutsu is already on you. The crows around him began to form into Itachi as his voice attempted to cut them. I'll say it again, I just want to talk, he said. Naruto and Itachi halted and stared at one another outside the genjutsu. After a few minutes, Naruto gasped and dropped on his knees, saying, What is this? What is happening here? Asked Naruto. Why are you doing this when you claimed that you weren't pursuing me? I'm leaving right now. I have an important matter to attend to, Itachi replied, exploding in crows. A shadow clone. What was that about? Naruto asked himself. He then looked behind him and saw Spider-Man dodging one of Ock's tentacles, Spider-Man. As he dashed in Spider-Man's direction, he said. We must defeat this man quickly. Before Sasuke is discovered by Itachi. Now let's resume the battle. Come on Ock, Spider-Man muttered, avoiding one of his tentacles as he avoided each tentacle that Ock hurled at him. Can we talk this out? At that moment, Spider-Man was forced to a tree by Ock's arms, which seized his neck. These silly games must end. As a sharp needle materialized on one of Ock's arms, Doc Ock exclaimed, I'm ending you, now. Ock shouted, as he was about to plunge his arm into Spider-Man's chest. Kiba and Akamaru rushed to it and Akamaru chopped the arm off and spit it out. No. My arm. Ock shouted, glancing at the shattered tentacle. Well done, Akamaru. Kiba patted Akamaru and whispered, This will hurt you. As he lunged at Kiba and Akamaru, Ock uttered such words. Spider-Man then struck Ock in the face. Ock, not today, Spider-Man uttered. This is your end. Together with your fellow ninjas, Ock said as he stood up, Tell my webs that. As he attempted to shoot his webs but nothing emerged, Spider-Man replied, I've already run out of web fluid. Well, is it too late to request a break? Spider-Man asked, looking at Ock. After he said that, Ock grabbed his neck and smashed his body in the wall. I guess that's a yes, choking, Spider-Man uttered. Spider-Man, he whacked them with his damaged tentacle, but Sakura screamed as she, Kiba, and Akamaru charged at Ak. I'm going to finish this now. At that moment, Ak heard Naruto sprinting in his Rasengan's direction. Avoid him. Right now, Naruto was about to strike Ak with the Rasengan when he was seized by another tentacle. Well done, boy. Your skills are quite impressive, Ak remarked, drawing Naruto to him. But if you want to die with Spider-Man, then I shall fulfill your wish. At that moment, another Naruto kicked Ak from behind, removing the Naruto he had poofed. Then, Spider-Man attacked Ak after escaping the tentacle's hold. Thanks, Spider-Man exclaimed, pumping Naruto with his fist. No problem, Naruto replied. As a tentacle almost ensnared them both, Spider-Man cried, "Get down," and grabbed Naruto, tackling him to the ground. Kakashi then hurled a kunai knife close to Ak's face before falling into a tree. We don't have time for you. He responded, give up now. Give me Spider-Man, then I'll let you and your children live, said Ak. How about instead of Spider-Man, we give you a glass of punch, Kakashi said. Before Ak could finish saying, a glass of WH. Scoura sped to his right, punched Ak in the face, and caused him to smash into a few trees. Nice work, Sakura, Kakashi remarked. Sakura said, thanks Kakashi-sensei. Ak spit out a tooth and grumbled, that's it. He strode over to them and declared, I'm done playing games. As Spider-Man reloaded his web shooters, Naruto questioned, damn, he doesn't give up, does he? Naruto glanced at Ak and Spider-Man before coming up with a plan. Not until I'm dead, Spider-Man muttered as he peered over at Ak fighting the shinobi. When Naruto responded, well if he wants you, then let's give him what he wants. Spider-Man turned to face Naruto carefully. What? When Hinata and Shino attempted to attack Ak from behind, two of his tentacles punched them. I suppose I'll kill you first, then Spider-Man. Ak exclaimed as his arm seized Sakura and slammed her to the ground. As he kicked Ak and his arm freed Sakura, Spider-Man screamed, leave her alone. It's me you want, he continued, leave everyone else alone. Sakura stood up and exclaimed, Spider-Man. Let us help you. It's okay, Sakura. Spider-Man said, turning to face Sakura. I'm actually. At that moment, Ak seized Spider-Man and crushed him against a tree and then the ground. Ow, he muttered, as he slowly moved toward Spider-Man as he attempted to escape. I hope this plan works. Ak chuckled, at last, I have you, Spider-Man. The Spider-Man snarled, screw you. Ak remarked, oh, what an attitude you have. After thinking, I have to do something before he kills Spider-Man. Sakura turned to face Naruto, but he was nowhere to be found. Hang on. Where's Naruto? He had better not run off without us, she said. As one arm seized Spider-Man's mask, Ak exclaimed, but, before I send you to your demise, let's show everyone your true face. Sakura said, Kakashi-sensei, what do we do, to Kakashi? The response from Kakashi was, hold positions for now. What? Exclaimed Kiba. Saying, just trust me. Kakashi. Spider-Man uttered, I, wouldn't do that if I were you, with confidence. But I'm not you, Spider-Man, Ak remarked, or should I say, the arm swiftly took off the mask, shocking everyone, even Ak, accidental rhyme. You, said Ak.